Officials are out in full force across the country to enforce road safety. Officers are manning points on all the major routes to check drivers for fatigue and vehicles for roadworthiness. The Road Traffic Management Authority has called on motorists to avoid travelling at night when there's poor visibility to avoid accidents. This comes after an accident in KwaZulu-Natal claimed 7 lives and left 15 others seriously injured. The crash happened on the R56 between Umzimkhulu and Ixhopo in the southern KwaZulu-Natal. It's believed that the driver lost control of the vehicle. He then crashed the vehicle and the vehicle went down an embankment and ended up in a river. Amongst the deceased are 2 small boys. The minibus was travelling from Johannesburg to the Eastern Cape. The KwaZulu-Natal Department of Transport says this morning's taxi crash is the first major crash in the province since the start of the festive season. Almost all police units, including public order and intelligence, have been deployed at major roads and ports of entries to make sure that travellers are safe this Christmas holidays. Traffic authorities in Musina, outside the Beitbridge port of entry in Limpopo, have expressed frustration about motorists who at times disrupt traffic flow along the N1, especially near fuel stations. At some stage, both directions near the border were occupied by vehicles driving to the border, while long queues of vehicles filling petrol stretched onto the N1. And for an update on this story, let's cross to our reporter, Lutendo Bobodi. Lutendo, a very good evening to you. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. What are the motorists saying?
Yeah, you know, the interesting thing about doing traffic updates is that you are never consistent. You know, 1 minute it's flowing freely and the next it's jam-packed, like you see here behind me. We are at Capricorn Toll Plaza. This is the second last toll gate just before the Beitbridge border post. As you can see there behind me, you know, traffic is moving quite slowly. It tells you now that it's getting busier and busier. This is the weekend just before Christmas. As you can see, they've opened up about 4 lanes. Even the tag-only lane is now open for traffic to just pass through, even when those motorists don't have any tags. As I said, here it is Capricorn here. This is a high accident zone, but fortunately no accident has been reported so far. But I can also, let me go back to what I said earlier about the driving here. When you look here, people are driving quite slowly because now it's jam-packed towards the toll gate. But right on the N1 where the traffic is moving freely, the driving has been quite appalling. I've seen some of the worst driving I've ever seen in my life. People overtaking on solid line, people speeding, you know. But as you said earlier, as you said in your intro, that traffic officials are in full force. Yes, they are in full force here. As you compare to yesterday, you know, where you could only see a few vehicles stationed alongside the road. Today, there are roadblocks all over, searching motorists and stopping motorists and compounding vehicles.
In as much as at this point it's quite difficult to predict the traffic flow, but then are there any indications that the traffic will get better or even worse later on today?
I'll go for the latter. I think it will get worse. As you can see, when we came here, it was flowing freely, as I said, but now it's getting busier and busier. For the last hours in Pure, it has been like this, and it's getting worse and worse, you know, as the day progresses. We expect it to be jam-packed. The volumes are expected to just go higher and higher as the day progresses.
We've seen high police visibility at different parts of the country. Is that the same where you are?
It is the same, as I said, Zimbiwe. Yesterday and the day before, you know, there were quite a few, you know, but now I'm seeing traffic officials stationed along the road every 10 to 15 kilometers, as they promised. You know, when Bekele came here this week, he said there will be more police visibility. Today, that is what I'm seeing. Yesterday was quite a bit disappointed because I was not seeing that. But today I'm seeing a lot of roadblocks. I'm seeing that police now are in the thick of things. They have their work cut out for them.
Well, normally the police release the stats at a later stage, or maybe after the festive season is over. But then in terms of drink drivers or drunken driving, what have you seen or heard?
Yeah. You know, Minister Beitbridge said, we are a drunk province. I've been saying this since yesterday. And that is true, you know. A lot of motorists that are being stopped, that are being arrested, that are being given fine are those that are drunk, especially around Musina area. This morning we spoke to traffic authorities who said that they arrested 8 last night and 2 this morning. And I'm sure they are even arresting more. If you look at the driving Simpiwe, you can realize that people are under the influence of something.
All right, Lieutenant, thank you so much for your update. We'll certainly touch base with you a little later on. That was a reporter, Lieutenant Boboti, speaking to us live from Limpopo.